preschool, and that is before kindergarten and normal school. So it's mostly just playing games and learning very basic things like the alphabet and numbers, colors, things like that. And so after preschool, there's kindergarten, which is essentially the same thing, but in kindergarten you learn how to read and maybe start learning how to write. And so after kindergarten is elementary school, and that's where you learn addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, writing in cursive, reading longer and longer books, writing longer and longer things. And elementary school is considered kindergarten to 5th grade, and then 6th grade to 8th grade is what's called middle school. And in middle school, you start going to different teachers for each different class, because in elementary school you have one teacher for the whole year and they teach everything. And in middle school you start changing classes like in high school. And there's two kinds of schools for elementary and high schools in the U.S. We have public schools and private schools. The public schools are free for everyone. You don't have to pay anything. And anyone can attend them that lives in the surrounding area of the school. Sometimes if there's a good public school far away from you, you are able to apply and go there yourself. But usually you have to go to the one that's closest to your house. There's no religion or uniforms. They're generally pretty big because they have to take everyone, and so they are usually pretty large. And in the big cities, they have what's called magnet schools, and those are a bit different because they are schools that are designed for one specific thing, like music and arts, or science and math and engineering. And so they take all the very bright students from the public schools, and anyone can, that has a certain score or takes a certain test, can attend these schools. And they're usually only found in the biggest cities like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, etc. There's also private schools for elementary and high school, and you have to pay to attend them, and it doesn't matter where you live. So if you live very far away, you can go to the private school. You just have to travel. Some do have religion and a religious affiliation, and some also have uniforms as well. And so many religious schools, they require you to wear a uniform. And they also teach their religion in the school. Many are smaller than the public schools because they have not as many people go there because you have to pay. And so classes are smaller and there's more teachers. And also some are very large, so they have large private schools as well. And so we go to school starting in kindergarten all the way up to high school, grade 12. So 12 years. And we usually graduate at 17 or 18 with 4 years of high school. So you start high school in 9th grade and end in 12th grade. And then after high school, we have university, or college, as we call it. And there's three kinds of universities, public, private, and what's called junior college. Public universities are run by the state government. You do have to pay, but it's a lot less than a private university would be. And so anyone that is accepted to a public university can attend, and they usually accept most of their students from the state that they're in. And for students that want to go to that university from a different state, anywhere from $1,000 to $12,000 a semester for a student in state, and then a student out of state could be anywhere from $3,000 to $25,000. It really depends, because there's so many universities that they can charge kind of whatever they want to. Private universities are a bit different because they are run by an organization, and so they don't receive any money from the government for school. So you have to pay much more to attend a private university. Sometimes they're affiliated with a church, for example, the Catholic Church or the Jewish Church, for example. And so they might require you to take a religion class or something along those lines. And private universities are more expensive because as I said, they don't receive any money from the government. So a private university can cost anywhere from, I know of one private university that costs nothing to attend. They have a very large, what's called an endowment. So people have given them so much money over the years that they're able to pay for everyone. But that's the only one I know of. And so anywhere from free to maybe $25,000 to $30,000 for half a year to go there. So it's very expensive, yes. However, it is easy to get money to attend university. There's a government program that you can apply for, and depending on your level of income, they give you a certain amount of money to go to school. Also, universities always have financial aid. So if you qualify for financial aid, they give you a certain amount of money on top of what the government gives you. And you can also get money from the university for being a very good student, and that's called a merit scholarship. So if you're really smart and you have really good grades, then they might give you some money as well. And the third type of university or college is called a junior college, and that's only a 2-year institution. So these are usually 4 years. Well, they always are 4 years. And so many people choose to go to junior college for 2 years and then transfer or change universities to a 4-year university. These are considerably cheaper, much cheaper than a 4-year university, because you pay for each class. So you don't pay for everything. So I know the one that's nearest to my house, for a 3-credit class, which is a standard class, I think it's $55 or $60. And so that's much cheaper than paying, I don't know, $8,000 for it. But these junior colleges, you don't have to apply. You just sign up. So anyone can go there. Anyone. And so for that reason, they're not the best places to learn, because sometimes people go there and they start slacking off and they don't take it seriously, and then they just get stuck and they never leave. But it's a good option for many people if they're very motivated, because they save a lot of money and then they can go and get their degree from a very good university later on. And after the first 4 years of university, which we call undergraduate, there's what's called graduate school, which you may apply and attend. And that depends how the length of it on the program that you're taking, and so it could be anywhere from 1 year to 6 years, depending on what you study. So, for example, medical school, I think, is either 4 or 6 or 8 years. I'm not sure, but it's a long time. And then maybe for history or English, it's only 2 years of graduate school. And then After graduate school, if you really want to, you can do a PhD program. And I don't know how long that takes, but maybe it's another 2, 3, 4 years. And then if you complete that, you're a doctor. So you can put doctor in front of your name. Fancy. Yeah, that's about it. Any questions?
Yes. Which is the difference between the public and private and the learner?
And the what?
The difference between the public and the private and in the learner, in the enseñanza.
Well, usually, I think on average, public schools, or private schools, excuse me, are generally better because the teachers, there's smaller classes, and so the teachers pay more attention, are able to pay more attention to the students. And so, since you're paying, you get more attention from the teachers and more help. But that's not always the case. If you are lucky enough to live in a neighborhood with a good public school, then it's essentially the same. But many public schools in bad areas, they're not very good because there's 35 or 40 kids in one class, and the teacher can't pay attention to everyone all the time, and so many people get lost.
Dear chef in the school for the Latino-Americanos, the Mexican, the Negroes, yes.
What's that?
Chefs, quota.
Do they have to pay the cafeteria?
No.
I think it's free. It's free for all.
In a public school, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Everything is free. However, I did forget to mention there's one other kind of elementary and high school that's kind of in between a public and a private school, and it's called a charter school. So they would pay, the parents that send their children there spend much less money than a normal private school, but they still have to pay something, and the government does give some money to the schools. So it's kind of a new kind of education that they're working on in the U.S., and there are not very many of them, but they tend to be much better than the public schools in the area because they get better teachers, and the kids are more interested in learning because they attended such a school. And so it kind of gets people out of the bad schools and into better schools.
Okay, thank you.
You tell us the second language is Spanish?
Yes, well, most of the time when people take language classes, it is Spanish.
When you start to speak Spanish in the elementary school?
It depends on the school, but most of the time they start in high school. And so in public schools, I think they mostly start teaching in high school. There are some that you can start taking Spanish as early as kindergarten. There's a private school that my cousins go to where a few years ago they started teaching Spanish at